I wanted to survive 100 days on a floating island only world, and this was probably one of the hardest decisions I ever had to make. So I quickly went and got some wood, because that's the first step I wanted to do, and I instantly went and made a wooden sword to fight these mobs and get as much food as I could, because I don't know how hard food would actually be. That's when I came across this little area where I thought I'd jump all the way down to see what would happen, and I swear this was the scariest thing of my entire life. I made a bunch of stone tools and I got a bunch of coal because I didn't know what else I really needed early on, so I smelted all the food I had, so I had required enough resources to survive the night, and that's when it turned night. And honestly, the first day was relatively easy. I made my way back onto the top to get the sheep and make instant beds, and then I said goodbye to day one, which was surprisingly really easy. The next day I wanted some more food, so I went around killing as many cows as I could and went mining. So the caves in this system were actually really cool, and this was in the new 1.17 snapshot, so the new caves are extremely cool. That's when there was a bunch of creepers everywhere and I was like, hell no. But after that I decided, you know what, time to mine more iron, because I need iron and I need to skill myself. So I came across this little skeleton, bro, and every time I went to fight this skeleton, for some reason my PC completely lagged, and this guy almost ruined my hardcore already. On day 2 I would have been dead, but after I killed him I was like, okay, I need a new PC. So I quickly made an iron chest plate, equipped the iron chest plate, made an iron pickaxe, and went mining to bag more iron, because you know I needed to get stacked. But that's when these mini zombies came out of nowhere, and for some reason these guys wanted to beef with me and I had no idea what I wanted to do. So as soon as I killed them all, I went to mining lapis because I wanted to get enchanted. But then I was like, yo, smart idea, let me fight this enderman. Yeah, nope, definitely not a smart idea, never fight an enderman. I went to exploring a little bit because I didn't know exactly what to expect in the floating islands world, so I made all the iron gear I really needed and I headed on to an adventure where I came across a village that seemed pretty cool at the start. And now I got my food resources from here. I got the hay and I decided, you know what, I need a bunch of wood so I can mine this. And that's when I came across a blacksmith, which I thought, yo, okay, let me loot inside here, and it wasn't actually that bad loot. It was pretty cool. I mined up all the wood around here. I was robbing the entire village. After a while I came across another village and a decent looking area, and this is when I thought, you know what, this is a cool area, and I did some MLG jumps, which I almost died again. The amount of times I almost died in this series is kind of unreal, if I'm going to be real. This new place I found I thought would be a perfect opportunity to call my home, because I kind of had a little vibe I wanted to go, so I made my way over to the village. I wanted to check what exactly is inside this village. I didn't want to ruin anything, I didn't want to rob anything, so I wanted to check the surrounding area, and you know what, it wasn't that bad. I made an MLG all the way down, and I came across 2 creepers who wanted to fight me, but you know, they died. These new mineshaft areas are pretty cool to look at. I mean, I am not gonna cap, I had no idea what exactly to expect over here, but when it came to it, I was like, yo, these are very trippy, if I'm gonna say so myself. So I went to explore this, and you know what, it's useless. This is completely useless. There's nothing you can really get from here. There's no chest. I mean, there's wood and maybe some rails, but do I really need that? I'm not too sure. So I went exploring. Mobs were everywhere. I didn't want to get shot off, so I made my way back up to the top and just did from this entire area. Exploring, I also found more diamonds, and diamonds kind of got nerfed here, I'm not gonna lie. Usually there'd be like 8 veins of diamonds, but for some reason there's only 1 or 2 veins of diamonds now, and it's kind of weird. So but that's when I came across a massive mosh pit of a fight. For some reason I have no idea what was going on. There was a bunch of skeletons fighting left, right, and center, and it got to a point where it was a 1v1 skeleton fight, and I was like, yo, who's gonna win, my left guy or my right guy? I was rooting for the right guy. So yeah, the right guy actually won, so I didn't know what to expect, but he tried to fight me. Why fight me? With that, I decided to leave the entire area. I don't know why I attract so many baby zombies. That for some reason they all love to chase me, and I don't want to deal with it sometimes. So I went exploring. I found some more diamonds. You know what that means? That means I get a stack, and I got some redstone. The entirety of day 5 I wanted to spend getting mining and getting some cool resources. When I came across this amethyst little crystal ball, and you know what, I still don't understand why I can't mine these. So as soon as I got enough, I decided to go back to the top, where I almost fell all the way down into the void. I came across some obsidian, so I decided to mine the obsidian. I made my way back home for the end of day 5, and honestly it had been a journey. I came back, stored up all my loot, and the next few days I had a clear goal in mind, and that was I had obsidian now and I needed a bunch of flint. So I mined as much gravel as I could, and I made the portal to the Nether, because you know what else do you really do after day 6, 7? I made my way into the Nether, not expecting much other than a half decent spawn, you know, but you know, the spawn didn't do me too bad. I grabbed as many bone blocks I could, because that's a perfect resource for farming. There's no other better resource for farming. Going exploring, I came across a brewing portal, and you know what, it wasn't actually that bad. I mean, it was kind of makeable, but easy gold blocks, I guess. And that's when these guys started to fight me, and you know what, for some reason he hit me through my shield, which made no sense, but at the end of the day I got killed him. Luckily for me, there was a bastion inside here, so before I wanted to loot anything, I thought I'd just quickly yoink some bastion loot, and I didn't want to explore it too much because I can still get one shot, and again, I can completely die. So I found this little piglin brew, and you know what, I had to bully him. I had to bully him a little bit, just about bang, bang, bang. Yeah, no, it was kind of mean. I made my way back over home and I realized, okay, it's turning night. What have I done? I've made no progress, but I looted a bastion, so I can't really complain. Now that I had a bunch of bone blocks, I had a goal in mind, and that was I need to farm, but I couldn't be bothered actually making a farm, so I just made a 1x1, and I was legit using bone meal to farm as much as I could. And I legitimately tell you, that's all I really did. That's actually all I did. I didn't actually even make a massive farm. It was actually a big pain as hell. But I couldn't really do that with sheep, so I decided I actually had to make a proper farm for these guys. So I made a little farm with fences and brought them all into my little abode, where I'd actually call it a sheep simulator 2020. I closed the sheep cage off and I bred them to make little children. As I was looking over the edge, this little baby zombie came out of nowhere, and do you know what? This could have been so bad because it could have hit me and I would have been straight off the edge and it would have been the end of my existence. But that's when I went to the top, and for some reason I saw a villager and zombie fighting, but this villager kind of escaped. Yeah, I don't know how he ended up winning. When exploring, I came across a new copper ore texture, and you know what? I kind of digged it. It is more vibrant, it's a lot cooler. I made my way back and started smelting the copper. Once everything had been smelted, I decided, you know what? It's time to make the spyglass, because that's the main thing to do, and I used it, and you know how it is. It's a spyglass. It's like Optifine, but vanilla. And that's when I came across this little gem. I don't know why he's in the overworld. I had no idea what you did, bro, but come on, legend. At this point, I had an idea on what I actually wanted to make my house out of and what kind of area I wanted to do. So I wanted as much wood as I could and needed as much shears as I could. And I tell you, this was very tedious to do. After a while, I had enough, and I used so much time that I made my way back, and I came across this creeper who ended up blowing my little village area. So as a protector of this village, I decided to patch it all up. In my way back, I realized I covered way too much shears. Like, bro, how much did I go? Like, I didn't realize how long I went for. The next few days were actually spent building my house. So the reason is I didn't actually want to make a house. The idea I had was I wanted to make a little garden area. And you know, I'm very big into gardens. So the first thing I wanted to do was make a massive tree. I didn't know exactly how big I wanted to make this tree, other than I just went off my gut. So I just started placing blocks and just filling it up. And then maybe then the tree would look half decent then. And to be honest, to my surprise, the tree looked pretty amazing. I wanted to also make a certain, like, a little area that would make my base secure. So I've covered it completely with these slabs so no mobs can actually jump over the little area, which was a smart idea. And for some reason, I came to the conclusion that, wait, when it turns night, the sky pulsates? What? Shocked by the discovery, I went back to placing these slabs because, you know, hello. Now that the slabs had been done, I had a little idea where I wanted to make a little gazebo, and this gazebo was going to be my little chest storage room. And I really didn't have too much in mind, other than I wanted to make it a nice little cozy garden, which kind of shows off my building skills, but not too much. Yeah, I don't really know what I had in mind. I mean, I just wanted something cozy and something super nice. And you know what? It did take me a long time to get a design in mind, and even I had a bunch of intruders I didn't really expect. Yeah, I don't know why they were coming out of nowhere, but the place ended up looking pretty cool at the end of it. So I didn't have anything in mind other than I had to be a wood build, because that's pretty much the only resource I went mining for, and also maybe a bit of stone brick. But this place was coming along very well. Like, I don't know what exactly I had in mind, but you know, I just wanted to make it a little complex. So I ended up actually doing the design midway through, and when I kid you not, this design was like made up on the spot. I'm surprised it actually turned out as good as it did. I don't know, you might roast me in the comments. Like, does it look bad? Let me know. Once it had been made, I decided, you know what, it's time to start moving my loot in, and you know, it was easy. For some reason, mobs just kept on intruding my entire area. I need to torch up this entire place. I wanted to make little paths to certain areas, so I decided to start shoveling the ground and placing leaves as a little outline for my little path area. And I wanted to also make a little bridge area work in progress, so this bridge would actually lead to just the other side. And I also wanted to make a house, but the thing is, I didn't want to make anything too much, so I decided to just make some little, you know, it was kind of a low-key trash house. I ain't gonna cap. I wanted a little break from building because I felt like I built like forever. Like, it took so long. So I went exploring, and this when I came across a ruin portal which looked pretty massive, and I jumped all the way down. And once I jumped all the way down, I wanted to loot what was inside, and you know what, it wasn't actually that bad. But I came to the conclusion that, you know, this ruin portal kind of sucks. How have I not seen this? So I made my way into this little amethyst orb, and I got more amethyst. But then again, I still don't understand how this works. So I jumped all the way down. I kid you, this entire series I've been doing the most riskiest MLGs of your entire life, and I think you'll realize throughout this entire video that I'm stupid in the amount of MLGs I actually do. And you know, I accidentally fell here, which is surprising, but again, I MLG'd it. You know, I can't even complain. How skill am I? My skill is off the roof, but I found more diamonds as a reward for my MLG skills. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've MLG'd way too much in this. I think this is the biggest like MLG game I've ever done. I'm not even too sure myself, but either way, I came across a slime that was even MLGing, but it was a perfect opportunity to get slime balls for future redstone contraptions and future just stuff I needed slime for, really. really. Going exploring, I came across a weird chunk that kept glitching in and out. I have no idea why. I'm not too sure. I had to use the flint and steel I required to actually kill these cows for free steak, I guess. But then I realized, wait, I killed them in front of their baby. That's just mean. So I just threw them their steak. I wanted to see if he wanted to eat it, you know, a nice guy, yeah? And I realized that's cannibalism, so I just did from the area. Exploring a little bit more, I came across more of the new mine shafts that look completely trash. But you know what? It wasn't all bad. So, because I came across a few diamonds, which I saw, but then, you know what the biggest plot twist was? Yep, there was a mine shaft. Oh, there was a stronghold that I did. Bro, I don't understand. I don't even have the energy to actually explain this, because it's just crazy how, what is this? How lucky am I? I don't even understand myself anymore. But either way, I yoinked up everything that was in here, and I got some decent looking books. And I just wanted to loot up the rest of the chest, because I didn't know exactly what else to expect. I used an ender pearl to escape the area into the mine shaft. I made my way to get more diamonds, because that's all I really came out exploring for, is more diamonds. And you know, they nerfed diamonds. I'm 100% sure they did, because I feel like I mined so many, but I got nothing. As I made my way back home, I had enough books to actually make a level 15 enchantment table, or level 13 enchantment table, I should say. And that's exactly what I did. Problem was, I needed to make an enchantment table, so I did exactly that straight after. And with that, I placed it in the middle. I was ready to do level 30 enchantments. The only problem was I didn't really have level 30, so you know, that was a struggle. That was actually a struggle bus. I wanted to go on a little adventure where I just wanted to explore and see what else was around here. So I went into a village and I came across a saddle in a chest. So you know what? I came across another village and I saw a bunch of horses. And this was a cool village, I'm not gonna lie. I was looking forward to it and I thought I found a blacksmith, which was so cool. Turns out, you know what the biggest plot twist of the entire night was? I've already looted this village and I didn't realize. So I was in shock and I was in disbelief. So I started taming these horses. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes of my entire life, because as soon as I tamed this horse, I went on a little adventure and I fell down this little hole. Now this hole almost led to my demise. Yeah, the horse died. You know, that's kind of sad if I think about it. But you know, on the bright side, I'm still alive. I tamed this horse that was looking at me a little dodge, and you know what? He was the best horse. I climbed a cap. He was so fast, and I didn't expect him to actually be this fast. I brought this guy all the way home after a long journey. I mean, he may have took a lot of damage, but still, he made his way all the way home, and I threw him straight into my house, because that, yeah, bro, no, where else are you going? The next few days I spent just building, because I wanted to make a little bridge to the village area, just in case it would be a lot easier for me to actually move villagers from one place to another, so I can actually finally make my villager farm. It did take a long time, and I didn't know exactly how I wanted to make it, but I had an idea that I wanted to use leaves and wood to fit my garden theme. And you know what? As soon as that had been completed, I decided, you know what? I need to make a little farm area, because I'm running out of food and I can't rely on me looting villages after villages after villages. So I decided to make a potato farm and a wheat farm. So I placed as many potatoes and wheat as I could. That's when I realized that this guy escaped from my area. Bro, you're my horse, stop. So I blocked him in this time. My farm was actually coming along pretty well, to be honest. I just needed to get rid of this entire area just because it looked ugly on my bridge. So I used the rest of my remaining energy to break up these blocks, and the place was looking cool. I wanted my own iron golem for my own village, so I hit this guy and took him out on an adventure. I wanted to bring him back all the way back to my house, and it turns out this guy's so slow. Why did he take so long? I'm not too sure. Turns out this guy just doesn't know how to walk, and he fell. So I was like, yo, I'm giving up. I'm gonna kill this guy. With the rose I acquired, I placed it down on this beautiful little lake area, and I made a diamond chest plate. It was when I came across a bunch of these villagers talking about the most random things, and it was a conspiracy. I don't know what they were planning. It was bare weird. I didn't know what to expect, but it was hella weird. For some reason, I also had a visitor just enjoying my life, and he was the biggest scammer ever, but he gave me a sapling, a spruce sapling, which is one thing I wanted. So with the emeralds I had acquired, I yoinked up the spruce sapling. I ended up trying to beat him up because I didn't know if I killed him, I got the emeralds back. Turns out you don't actually get the emeralds back. He just straight up robs you. So I placed the sapling and I bone milled it, and then I wanted a sapling back. If I didn't get sapling back, it would have been bad, but I got sapling back and I made my money straight away. Was it worth? I'm not even too sure if it was still worth to this day. The next long period, I wanted to go netherite mining. So with the wool farm I had acquired and the amount of beds I had acquired, I wanted to see if I could actually get netherite. And you know what? There were times where I almost died. Who's gonna go from full iron to netherite? Tell me. No one really does that. But after no luck, I just kept mining, and that's when I came across the luckiest thing. So all my bad luck turned into good luck, because I found, I think, 5 pieces of netherite, or ancient debris, I should say. I got extremely lucky in this scenario. I don't know why, but it did take me a long time to find this, and I just kept using this over and over again, and sometimes I'd get hella lucky, sometimes I get not lucky, and it was a very tedious process. Who thinks ancient debris is easy to mine? I don't know. You guys, it's the hardest thing ever, but once you get ancient debris, I think it's pretty much all worth it. It got to a point where I was low-key kind of running out of beds. It was getting pretty bad. So once I ran out of beds, I wanted to loot up a bit of a bastion, so I found this guy. I don't know what he was doing. I just ended him, and this guy was watching me, so I had to fight him too. Turns out there's pigment brutes everywhere. I don't know why or what I did, but yeah, I think I'm just looting their territory. That's why. Like, come on. Why are they so mean? Like, they're coming from every angle. They want to fight me. I don't know exactly what I did, bro. But thankfully, I had like 10 uses on this bow, so I could actually finish him off. But surprisingly, I think the amount of times I've looted bastions, this just got easier and easier. It got to the point where they were just running into lava themselves. But I think the hardest part of these bastions were these guys. These hog goblins. Bro, they're wild. The loot from the chest wasn't actually that bad. I mean, I can't really complain. It got the loot, it got gold. Yeah, that really wasn't too much. But the main reason is I also wanted a bunch of XP because I wanted to enchant at level 30 at least. That's exactly what I did. I spent a long time mining, and you know what? After coming back home with level 30, I decided, you know what? Why there's so many invaders in my house? This is torched up. This is barbaric. I don't know. With that, I enchanted a pickaxe, and I got silk touch, not too bad. And I enchanted a chest plate, which again, prot free and breaking free wasn't that bad. Can't really complain. And then with that, I used up all the ancient debris I got and made full netherite. So with that, I made a netherite chest plate, looking fresh, and you know, I had to flex it a little bit. I'm pretty proud of that. I don't know how all these mobs were actually coming into my base. I still have zero idea to this day, but I came to the realization that, bro, how did those creepers blow up? I still don't understand. So I had to place up the rest of this, and you know what? I gave up. I was like, yo, there is no way. So I went to mine the trees I needed to, because with the new spruce saplings I had acquired, I used my favorite block of all time, the spruce wood block. I don't really know what I had in mind, but I wanted to use the spruce blocks to make some little platforms, and that's exactly what I did. I built up, and I built a little section in my mountain house little area. I was doing some risky jumps, I'm not even gonna cap, just to make my way down faster, but you can't really complain. It turned out it was coming out pretty cool, you know. I spent a lot of the time building, and you know, I really enjoyed building in this world. For the sole purpose of the views were pretty amazing, and I kind of had a nice idea on what I wanted to do. So I torched up the entire area so mobs don't spawn. I came across a whole mob fest of fighting. I don't know, bro. It was kind of, I don't know why mobs were everywhere. But I made it a little safe rail just so I can actually protect myself from not falling off in the future. And an idea of actually fencing the bottom floor too, because I think it also looked very nice. I came across another wandering trader, and he this time was selling sand. And you know what? Sand is very hard to get, and I don't think you can actually get it in this world. So I used sand to get glass. That was me secured on glass for a while. I wanted to edit up my house a little bit, and I decided to lead my little guy up to a tree. I also wanted to increase my little farm a little bit, because there's only 3 sheep, but now there's 4. With that, I also started working back on the house again, and honestly, it started to come out pretty good. I think it was pretty much done to the point where I really didn't need to do anything anymore. And now the whole point was me spending time to actually fix on the enchantment table and just make it as pretty as possible. So I kind of had a little idea with this, which was a little like hanging over ledge, and I think this actually turned out perfect, but I needed more leaves because I was running low on leaves, and I needed leaves for the designs I was gonna have. Once I got enough leaves, I made my way back, but then I realized my little horse guy actually disappeared. I don't know how he disappeared, but he disappeared, so I had to let him back onto his little area because, bro, no, get back here. I started to outline a path to the actual place, and I wanted to make a little pathway to make it easier for me to access and to make it look really nice. And I wanted to replace all the slabs I put down with fences just to make it look a lot nicer, and this actually took so long to do, but I think it turned out really good. And once it was done, it looked pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I should have done this from the start. Heading into the Nether, I wanted to explore a little bit because I wanted to just check out what I've missed, and it turns out as I was running around, I heard some blazes, and I was like, there's no way, where is this fortress? So I dug down because it sounded like it was underneath me, and bruh, it was actually underneath me. I was in shock. I was like, there's no way that this is actual thing. So I went around killing all the blazes, and this was an easy way to get a bunch of XP and also a bunch of blaze rods, which I actually spent a long while grinding this to the point where I almost actually died, but you know, we're not gonna count it. I was just grinding, and I had gapples on demand, so I really can't. But I came across this ruin portal, and I stole up all the loot, and that was when I came across another hobgoblin, and you know, hobgoblins, they suck, bro, so I had to end their existence. But now it was getting serious, so I had to start trading to get ender pearls. And that's pretty much it. I had to trade, I had to wait, and I had to prepare myself physically that, yo, this is going to be close to the end. But mine of the glowstone, I stored up the rest of the loot once I headed back. I wanted to explore because I wanted full diamond at least to make full netherite. So I did the most riskiest thing in your entire life, and that was the MLG straight off. And this was probably the stupidest thing I've ever done. But I MLG'd it. That could have been the end of it, but even I was like, wait, why did I do that? I was AFK after that. I was like, wait, why did I do that? I don't really know. But then I did a MLG, which wasn't actually that bad, surprisingly, but still, I really don't know why I was doing all these MLGs, but I mined a bunch of diamonds, and this was the crucial thing. I finally got a bunch of diamonds to make all the diamonds I needed, and the cool thing is I had silk touch at this point, so I could actually just use the silk touch and maybe wait until I got fortune free. But for some reason there was so many creepers around. I don't know why there was so many creepers around. Once I mined enough diamonds, I made my way back home, and I started placing these all down so I know exactly how many diamonds I had, and for some reason I got fortune free. Epic. So that was instantly, I got infinite amount of diamonds. Well, not infinite, but I got a decent amount of diamonds. And with that, I started enchanting all my gear with all the levels I had. I made them straight into netherite. So with that, I had 3/4 netherite, and I was pretty strong. I still needed to enchant a little bit more, so I went back into the nether to go mining for XP, and I spent the next couple hours just mining for a bunch of XP. And that's when I came across creepers in my house, and you know what? For some reason, bro, yeah, I was so tilted when that happened. I was so mad. I patched it up. I was like, bro, I just can't even be bothered. I just can't be bothered. Let me just leave it. I don't want to patch up. That was the final stretch of this. I made my way inside to the stronghold. I placed up all the eyes of Ender and I went straight in. But turns out, bro, 900 IQ, bro. What is going on? I start suffocating into a wall. Have you ever seen a self-destructive end? Bro, no. What? I was confused. I was like, why was I suffocating? There's usually a platform, but there was no platform this time. I don't know why. I decided, you know what? Okay, it's time to start destroying all these crystals and getting ready. So I started destroying every single crystal that was here. And you know what? My aim was superb. You can't even cap. So I went out. I was fighting this guy left, right, bro. I fought enough Ender Dragons to know how easy it is to fight these guys. So I chunked away at his health non-stop. He just didn't know what to do. My aim was just amazing, superb. There was no way he was going to beat me. And with that, I finished off the Ender Dragon with... I thought I killed him there, to be honest. But no, I finished him off. And that was the end of the Ender Dragon fight. I instantly went to collecting some blocks. And I headed straight into the NC to get some loot. With that, I ended up looting as much loot as I could. Because, you know, what else is the NC used for than overpowered loot? Am I right? I mean, I'm completely right. You can't even cap. I wanted shulkers at least. So I destroyed all these shulker people and looted more of the chests. Again, the loot was pretty cool. But I came across the pirate ship. With that, I went straight into the pirate ship and I wanted to enjoy life over here. So I went inside and I grabbed up the Elytra because that was the main thing. I wanted to break up this, but it turns out, oh nope, it fell. So I had to do some MLG strafe trying to collect it midair, and I should have collected it there, low key. But then I realized, okay, why didn't I collect it? My inventory is completely full. So I actually lost the dragon head. I was kind of sad. I made my way back home and I was ready to fight the Wither, but it turns out I was on day 99. So I was like, whoa, I didn't calculate that, to be honest. So day 99, I wanted to fight the Wither, but I guess I couldn't because I would have been past day 100. So for the last day, I decided, you know what, let me just go fly around with the Elytra. And I'm sad that I didn't actually get to do this a lot earlier. So, because flying with the Elytra in a floating islands biome was actually amazing. I had so much fun. But with that, I made my way home for the last day and just admired everything I had done for the last 40 hours. Day 100, I spawned in and boom, this guy, stupid. He blew my house. His house is gone, but worst house in existence. But with that, day 100 had finally come to an end and I wrote with my sign, day 100, floating islands completed. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Again, if you did, please consider the subscribe button. I'll see you later.